All right, folks, welcome back to episode 2 of Young Justice Review. Ursan here. We also have Rich here. What's going on, Rich?
Hey everyone, I'm good. How are you?
I'm good, man. I'm good. We watched episode 2,
Fireworks.
Fireworks, right? And it starts off pretty interesting. We see that scientist from the last episode. Now it's an issue, right? We have this Superboy clone, Superman clone, and he's out now. So we have that scientist dude. He goes and
Who the hell is that?
it's funny. We wind up knowing the baddies, at least for this episode, because they build
The,
onto this. They're called the
the
Light.
boss. Yep, we know the bosses. The game changers.
Game changers. They're here for the problems. Our protagonists. Is that what they're called? Protagonists? The good
Yeah,
guys of
yeah, protagonists. Yeah.
and our protagonists are the ones that are going to try to stop them. Now we're building into a season. Now we're building into the series. So we get introduced to this group called the Light, and the scientist. He's basically telling them, "What can I do now? What do we do?" So, Rich, do you remember what they say?
Offhand, no. I don't remember exactly what they say, but they're telling him like to deal with it.
It's not a
And
problem. It's okay that it's a problem. They'll deal with it.
yeah, because they got bigger fish to fry.
Much bigger fish to fry, it seems. Because who knows how long they've been running this clone thing, and who's to say that others haven't been cloned before this, successful,
Well, who's
unsuccessful.
well, who's to say the clone thing is really their main thing? The clone thing might be just like a small little
Right,
sliver or something.
right.
It's
That's true.
probably a part of the whole master plan. They have a lot of other stuff to worry about. I'm sure they have like a big master plan, like all good villains.
I'm interested to see how the series unfolds.
Yeah, me too. That's a great shot. See, they're all captured.
So yeah, the scientist scene ends with, well, what do we do with the three people that we capture? We get them. This was a really good shot. I did really enjoy this a lot. Superboy's
Yeah,
there, and Kid Flash, Robin, and Aqualad are now captured.
captured. All right, I remember the light did say. But maybe I'm thinking of a different scene. They did talk about making clones of them.
Listen, I think why not? Why not make a clone of Robin? Why not make a clone of someone who has all the abilities that he has? Kid Flash is fast. Why not?
Yeah.
Aqualad, magic, ability to breathe underwater, and electricity.
Well, here's the thing: would a clone of Kid Flash actually be fast? No, but think about it. Like Aqualad, you can say, yeah, okay, Aqualad, that's part of his physiology. But Kid
Hmm.
Flash channels the Speed Force.
Mm.
Would the Speed Force go through the clone?
Interesting point. You bring up a very interesting point.
Like a Superman clone. Yeah, it's easy. Okay, you make a Superman clone because it's again like Aqua is part of his physiology. Robin, you can just implant memories. You can implant like stuff. Is that obviously once they make a clone, they'll find out his identity so they can figure stuff out
Right.
about him.
And we get a little bit of character building in this scene with Superboy. He tells them that he is a clone of Superman, and he's there in case the Superman of this world dies, or in case he turns against the light. So now we establish this is a problem.
Yes, is definitely a huge problem.
So it's an issue, and they're still underground, and they're captured. But they try to appeal to Superboy, the Superboy as he's called. They try to appeal to his senses somehow.
Yeah, and Superboy, they were just to go back to that, they call him the Superboy, the scientist and stuff in the light because that's all he is. He's a weapon to them.
Right. A weapon for destruction.
Or weapon destruction, weapon to something to like control, weapon to I mean, obviously the master plan. I'm just gonna roll the dice. I think the plan is not really to, but he says in the scene he was created to replace Superman in case of anything. I personally think, this is my theory, he was created to take out Superman.
Yeah. I noticed though that you do have to develop Superboy, the Superboy in the series. And the creators of the show took episode 2 to do that. We also got a little tidbit with the Guardian, his genomorph, because at one point the scientist was like, "Hey, where's Superboy?" And the Guardian said, "Oh, well, he's with people that we just captured. They're in their pods." So at some point, the willpower will overcome the psychic abilities of the Xenomorph, which means it's almost like the psychic powers have to be constantly reinstalled, if that makes any sense.
Yes.
Yeah. Aqualad, Kid Flash, they try to appeal to Superboy. And then we have Guardian, the scientists come in. And it's interesting, they convince him to leave.
I mean, Superboy is, even though he's only 16 weeks old, he's a teenager.
Mm-hmm.
And like all teenagers kept in, like, say, a strict parent household, I guess you could call it this. They, because not because they're bad or, they want to all do drugs and drink. They want to see the world. They want to see what their caregivers, their creators, their guardians are hiding, from them, the world.
Right. So they're tapping into that teenage angst, the want to spread their wings and stuff like that. So then we get introduced to that character as our heroes are being zapped. We get introduced to the character, and he said, "Oh, there you are, lurking in the shadows." And he's important. This guy will play an important part later on in the episode. So the scientist, he says, "You know what? Let's get their DNA. Let's see if we can use the heroes that we have now and try to make something out of them." Another science experiment. And Aqualad does this really cool thing.
I was just gonna say, before this scene you see right now when he's rescuing them, Superboy's walking away, and Aqualad kind of whispers, because he knows Superboy has super hearing,
right? Which is very important.
It's very, very important. You could see kind of the leadership qualities in Aqualad.
Yeah, that's a good
point. He's taking charge
because he was able to notice that too.
Notice the superhero?
Yeah, he was able to effectively understand that, okay, since Superboy was saying, okay, I have these abilities just like the Superman, yeah. Aqualad, to save his team, he remembers that, okay, so if he has super hearing, then I can talk to this guy really low enough to where he can hear it.
Yeah, that's a good aspect. Also, he, in his conversation with them, he also analyzed him. He psychoanalyzed him, in that he could tell Superboy wasn't bad.
Right.
He appealed to his.
I was just gonna say the same thing. Appealed to
heroic side. Yeah, it was to his. Well, how would you say, his hero side, his Superman side, his good-natured side? Because I think Aqualad recognizes here, this guy is not bad. This guy doesn't know. He's not mind controlled or anything. This guy, he has free will to clone,
right?
But he doesn't know any better, because that's all he knows. I mean, he's 16 weeks old. He was born in that lab. That's it. That's his life.
A test tube baby.
Yeah, a test tube baby. Yeah. Let's just be happy the government's not watching this.
Yeah. So Superboy helps them escape with the help of Robin as well. And they're upset. Robin throws the batarangs, because they took their blood. Robin throws the batarangs to destroy that lab in there, which is really smart.
And that was a good. That was really smart, but that was really smart of the creators, a good attention to detail.
Attention to detail.
In a lot of cartoons, not every cartoon, but a lot of cartoons, they kind of they miss those small little things where you assume something like that happens off screen, unless they're planning to use it later.
Right.
But they took the opportunity to have Robin. They weren't even talking about that. They were just trying to get out of there. And Robin thought, being the tactical leader he is, right. Tactical thinker, let me destroy this.
Smart. Very, very cool. Very cool to see the characters thrive like that. And really, their first real mission together. They're trying to get away. They encounter these humongous xenomorphs. And I think this was a good scene to show Superboy's abilities. You have to introduce those abilities. Because in the last episode, if you remember, they were showing the abilities of the individual characters, of the heroes.
Yes, the team, as you, I'm spoiling.
So they all kind of help each other. Aqualad tells Superboy the key is to escape, not to get ourselves trapped inside. So they bounce.
Yeah.
And we realize in this scene, Superboy can't fly.
Yes, he
He
can fly.
he jumped
He can leap tall build. He can leap tall bounds.
tall buildings in a single bound.
Yeah, that's the word.
But he can't fly and he doesn't have heat vision. That's what we've established in
Yeah,
this episode.
he mentions that actually early on,
Right.
but when he's like, well, I forgot what the line was, but he mentions
I
like,
can't fry you, so saving you is the only other option, right? That's,
yes,
to be
or I don't
nice.
have heat vision. I think he says he doesn't have heat vision.
Yeah. So now it's the big escape, Rich. We got to get out of here. And in the meantime, Superboy is hearing things in his head. Someone's telling him to go in certain directions. They think they're at a dead end. And with rather Robin's savviness, he knows, okay, there's a vent there. We can do something.
Yeah, I mean that's from years of working with the Dark Knight.
Right. And we find out that Robin hacked the motion sensors. So the scientist is upset because they try to find them and they go to the bathroom. And Robin hacks the motion sensors and now they're trying to go up, they're trying to escape now. So I think at this point in the episode, the lights get red to establish that there's danger now. And now it looks like they're trapped. The Guardian's there. And lo and behold, man, that dude from the beginning of the episode, he was the one that was giving Superboy directions on where to go.
And we also find out in this scene that the actual fire from last episode, which brought the teens, I guess we can call them teens, here, which was really meant for the Justice League, was all of this gentleman's doing. Or just gentle genomorph.
Gentle genomorph. A GG.
The gentomorph.
I think this was pretty groundbreaking because it also signifies that, like, a species that wants to be liberated.
Yes. And several times he does call, they consider Superboy a genomorph.
He calls him a genomorph, you're right.
And he calls him brother.
And he calls him brother, too, to establish the relationship. They chat for a little bit, and I guess that's the point in the episode where Superboy sees humanity, a genomorph humanity, but also he sees that help is available, and it's not just you're a weapon for mass destruction. You know what I'm saying?
You're still human? I don't know if that's the right word.
I think
you're still
like willpower. You have the ability to make a decision for yourself, I think is what they're emphasizing.
Yes.
I can connect with that. I can feel that that's what they're trying to give. Because, if you think about it, he's a teenager without an identity. Aside from Superboy.
Yeah, the Superboy.
The Superboy, right. So that scientist dude, he tells Guardian, he's like, all right, you guys go. I gotta go get the Blockbuster. Which you said a funny joke was, you thought all Blockbusters were gone?
Yeah. Even back when this actually aired in
2011? They might have just all been dying.
Yeah, I think, this aired in I believe this and the first episode aired like a sneak peek in 2010, November 2010. And then officially premiered in January 2011. Someone in the comment section, correct me if I'm wrong.
Right. Yes, please do. Please do. So he drinks the Blockbuster. And as soon as I saw that, I told myself, these things never end well when someone has to drink something to turn into something.
Definitely not. I was kind of getting like an evil, even though he drank it and it was a different way. I kind of was getting evil Bruce Banner, Hulk vibes.
Right. Abomination too, Also in the Arkham games, Joker has the Joker, whatever the thing that he drank. So this scientist dude turns into some guy named Blockbuster. Now he's Blockbuster. He drinks this thing. He rips off his flesh rips off, and he turns into this gray thing.
A grayish, bluish thing. And he just starts fighting with them.
Right.
And Aqualad makes a good point later on. I mean, not later on, but during this, when he's what they mentioned about like a plan or something. Like, was this his plan? And he's like, I don't think he's having plans anymore.
So they fight. Their objective now is to get above ground, and Superboy and Blockbuster fight up, make a hole, so that this way they can go above ground. So now we get to which I thought was probably one of the best parts of this episode, is the big fight scene with the first baddie, where they have to kind of team up and stuff. What'd you think about this, man?
I thought it was really good. It shows their skills, how they work well as a team.
Right.
Because obviously Aqualad, Robin, and Kid Flash have known each other. I don't know if it was actually stated in the last episode if they've ever actually teamed up before with their mentors and stuff.
Right.
They seem, at least Kid Flash and Robin, they seem to know each other's moves.
They're very well connected.
Yeah.
So they team up and they realize that the guy Blockbuster is too powerful for them. And they're all getting beat. Aqualad, Kid Flash, even Superboy with his showing off his abilities. You know, they're not enough, you know?
But, you kind of want that in a show. You kind of want a villain that is hard to beat.
Yeah. You also have to show that
they need each other.
They need each other. I like that. That's really good. They're also, the four of them, this is the first time teaming up together, right?
I mean, until like a few hours ago, they didn't even know there was a four. They thought there was just the three of them, and the fourth was supposed to be Speedy.
Speedy, right. But Speedy's gone. Who knows? Speedy's not in this episode.
Yeah, Speedy's like, the last episode is just like, screw you.
I'm angry and I'm out.
Yeah, I mean, between him and Superboy, they're brooding.
We got to give the award for the broodiest.
Yeah, definitely.
So Robin winds up coming with this idea. He sees that there's structural damage from Blockbuster smashing things. And he tells Kid Flash, he's like, hey man, come here. Let's get this guy to tear everything down and hurt himself. So they're using their strategy. This is the team up. This is now probably Young Justice, you know? But not officially yet. But this is the beginning now of Young Justice. So they get some tactics in there. They make sure that the guy Blockbuster smashes everything, and then everything breaks. So we get the first Young Justice victory, if you will. But then, as the moon kind of comes, this was a really great scene. Superman comes from the moon, and Kid Flash is like, see, we promise you going outside and getting Superman.
Do we deliver, or what?
Right. But then, the Justice League, everybody shows up.
Yeah, I like how you see there's a little small detail. They have two Green Lanterns.
Right. That's right. You pointed that out when we were watching it.
Yeah, Hal Jordan and John Stewart, which is funny because they're both not saying people like Guy Gardner and Kyle Rayner, but there's always like a debate over who's better, John Stewart or Hal Jordan. And the production team behind this solved it by adding both of them.
So we get to one of the most interesting parts, and Superboy explains to Superman, he's like, I'm a clone of Superman. I am Superboy, right? So we finally...
He yells that after everyone's like, what is this?
Right.
Batman says it, and he just adds frustration. Superman's clone.
Which was pretty cool. I thought that was pretty interesting, Rich, to see he finally can say his identity outside for the first time. You know, I thought that's really cool. I think that's really nice writing, you know?
Well, I think it wasn't too much that it's like, the way you're saying it wasn't like he was declaring, like, oh, I'm Superman's clone. He was frustrated, and he's meeting this guy who he's heard about, who he has the DNA of,
right? And
he's not getting the reaction he thought he would get. So out of frustration, he yells, I'm Superman's clone.
Playing into the teen angst also a little bit, too.
Yeah, the best part was when was Superman's reaction.
That's right. Very like
shocked, almost embarrassed, kind of. I wouldn't say embarrassed, more like he has so much. Like, he's a Kryptonian. He's an alien. He's a god. But yeah, everyone you have to remember, and this is not really a spoiler, but Superman was raised as a human.
And now he sees a pretty much exact replica of him.
Yeah, that would freak anyone out. That would freak me out.
Right. Batman gives them a little verbal undressing, which you kind of have to figure.
He's pissed. And Batman is used to not so much a parent. I mean, yeah, parent, but in the comics, he's always raised his Robins as like they're soldiers. They don't. I mean, they have disagreed with him obviously before, but this is like early in the career. I'm assuming this Robin is Dick Grayson.
I assume so too. Yeah.
Okay. So they're probably he probably never disobeyed Batman before in his life. Obviously, Batman is not. I want to say he's maybe not angry is the right word. Maybe a little more disappointed and kind of shocked.
Mm-hmm. Proud too, I'd say a little bit.
Proud, yeah. Like the Batman in here, it's a good balance of he's dark himself, he's brooding, but he's also really, in a way, you could say this is a very open-minded Batman.
After the verbal undressing,
verbal scolding is more like
verbal scolding, right? We get introduced to Mount Justice, which is basically like a secret den.
Verbal scolding is verbal. Sorry. Yeah, this is the original HQ for the Justice League.
And they give it to the kids.
Hey, here's my crappy car. Have something better. Take this one.
So Batman lets them know that...
Yeah, and Red Tornado is going to be the demo.
Right. So Batman lets them know that this is now their headquarters. And that they would want... Aquaman says the term, like a group on the sly or something like that, right?
I believe so, yes.
And we're told that Red Tornado has requested. I think he's the one that wanted to. He's the one that wanted to be the Den Mother.
Right, and I believe they say Black Canary is going to be running combat with him.
Right.
And Batman's going to be giving them the tactile missions.
Right. You know what's funny too, Rich? I thought about. You get a male and female figure, but the male figure is a robot, and the female figure is a strong female human figure.
Well, that's not exactly true, because Batman still is a figure since he's the one that's going to be given the missions. Right.
But the main two people that are going to work with them on a day-to-day basis, I would assume, is going to be Red Tornado and Black Canary. At least that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, that's a weird way of looking at it, but yeah, I can see what you're talking about.
Yeah. Oh
wait, we do get introduced to someone here though.
We do. Martian Manhunter's niece, McGann.
What? Martian Manhunter's niece? Voiced by the fabulous Danica McKellar, aka Winnie Cooper from the Wonder Years.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah, I'm kind of a TV geek.
So we get introduced to, because Batman says it's going to be the 5 of you, and everyone's like, what? 5 people? But there's 4 of us. Dun dun dun! Surprise!
Which is
we got a Martian, and her name is McGann.
Fun part that I noticed, a little tidbit. Robin, like they're wearing civilian clothes. Even Robin, but Robin has sunglasses on.
Right. Why do you think that is?
That is what I could assume is because Batman's super paranoid. I mean, he's like that in the comics. He's like that almost everywhere. Anything you see him in, except maybe Adam West's Batman, who was a little too open. It makes sense because he wears a domino mask that covers his eyes. So what can you do in civilian clothes that doesn't look kind of weird? Sunglasses, protect his eyes, protect his identity.
Right. Also, sunglasses in a cave. Keep that in mind.
So that's how yeah.
So he wears his sunglasses at night, man.
At least in the dark.
Yeah.
And so Wally starts flirting with McGann right away.
Right. But we do get the established Young Justice. So in episode 2, they are now a team of 5. So congratulations, folks. Here we are, Young Justice.
Yeah, and we also just while Wally is hitting on her, we get a setup. They're introducing him and her. So you see, like Superboy, how happy he is. He feels like he belongs, even though he's a brooder. He feels like
He
he's starting to
finally
belong.
belongs.
Yeah, and we get a little. I'm assuming it's gonna. I'm just gonna say it's a foreshadowing of romantic relationship. Because Megan changes her shirt
That's right.
color to match
That's
Superboy's.
right. She likes the shirt. Sometimes it's the shirt.
Comes a shirt. Guys, they sell this on Amazon.
That's true. That's true. We get a scene with the Guardian and the scientists, and they say, okay, we're going to redo this. We're going to make everything better and no longer doing any cloning and experiments. So Cadmus, as we know it, is going to be different, as according to episode 2. I wonder if they're going to stay with that, and I wonder how that's going to develop. Do you have any thoughts about that?
Um, Obviously, it's something with the light. Is the ones that own cabinets, and they're not going to do anything, right away. And obviously, the public knows all this. My thought, obviously, is what everyone thinks. They're going to do some shady stuff behind the scenes,
Right.
even more shadier. Now they know the Justice League is onto them.
Right.
Which actually is another point back in the cave. Batman does mention them being a co-op team. So no one. So it's not like the Justice League where that's public. Like this team, from what Batman's dialogue, they're like a covert team.
They are. And
Batman's gonna use it to go against Cadmus and who. Batman's not stupid. Batman knows they're working for someone. Someone's pulling their strings.
Oh yeah.
So that my comment before Batman being open-minded. Maybe it's not that Batman's open-minded. Maybe it's more that he sees he saw like an opportunity.
Yeah, capitalizing on what's fallen on his lap now and what he knows. The light comes, and the episode ends with the light basically saying they know that the Justice League knows that we're here. So I'm curious to see what happens as we go further into the episodes. Overall, Rich, what'd you think of this episode?
I give it a 10 out of 10.
10 out of 10?
Yeah, this guy knows what he's doing. Greg Weisman, the creator, knows what he's doing. He does little stuff like the thing with the whole Robin with the sunglasses on.
Right.
Robin throwing and destroying the blood samples without like any dialogue or anything. Like he just does it. Like you don't question. He's not like, oh guys, he's not saying like, guys, we got to destroy this. He just does it.
Right. So you like the little things that helped build the big things as well.
Yeah, because as a kid watching shows, even like something as great as Batman the Animated Series or Spider-Man, like from the 90s from Fox, it always annoyed me. Those little details that they don't mention,
right,
always annoyed me. Like that's something they forgot.
Right. Makes sense. I agree. Yeah. I liked the episode. I thought it was very cool. I thought it established Superboy very well. Gave us a bigger look at the Justice League. And
showed us the teamwork.
What's up?
Showed us the young heroes teamwork.
Yeah, gave us a lot. And we got introduced to a bunch of new characters, but we got introduced to another core person of the team, McGann. So we get a lot in this episode.
Where'd you notice she's doing something? It's just funny they didn't wait till episode 3 to introduce him.
Overall, we liked this episode. We thought it was really cool, and I'm really looking forward to what else they build, what else they're going to build too. Because at some point, the established characters now will go on many missions, and more will be on the line. All right, folks, that's been episode 2 review of Justice League Fireworks. Hope you guys enjoyed it.
And check it out.
Yeah, check it out. Check it out. All right. See you guys later. Episode 3. Later.
Deuces.